Lionfish acquired. Now that's a pretty big one. We are Lionfish Extermination Corporation, and as you can see, we are taking out lionfish and only lionfish. This fish has become, boom, a great big problem. So thank you if you're new to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you've been here for a while, you know that this is an extremely invasive species. These guys were released sometime in the 80s, maybe 85 or 90, somewhere between there. And only 7 to 10 fish are responsible for this nightmare we see ourselves in. Whew, just missed him, but luckily he went into a shallow hole. The problem is, these guys don't have anything to eat them other than humans. So, boom, where they're from in the South Pacific, they have a lot of predators, but here they don't. So that's going to cause a huge, boom, problem. Look at that bright red seaweed. Isn't that crazy? And here's one of our prettiest angelfish, the rock beauty, just avoiding danger. Boom. I became a diver in 2016, and I was a vegan for many, many years, and I still am, except for lionfish. But I did not want to kill lionfish at first because I was like, well, you know, I don't want to kill anything. But when I found out that these guys kill everything if you don't kill them, everything became clear to me. And I like to go down and get these lionfish in deeper areas where a lot of people don't go. So if it wasn't for me and Alex, who is my partner doing this, and all the other people that hunt these lionfish, there would be so many lionfish, guys. There would be all this area that you're looking at right now. There wouldn't just be one here. There would be 25, 30 right there in this one scene. Boom. Everywhere you look, there would be lionfish if no one has been doing this since they began being a problem. This big guy's stalking a little fish. Whew, just missed him, but I grazed him. And now I hit him, and he's dead, but he's in kick mode. His tail is just going. That's just nerves, just constantly kicking. But you can see he's turning white, so he definitely got stoned. Very interesting. This string is one of the biggest things we have to worry about on our dives, because if that gets sucked up into this scooter that we're using here, that will destroy the scooter. It'll let water up into the wrong places, and then boom, it'll end up getting a lot of rust and contamination and just ruin the thing altogether. And they're going for about $5 or $6 grand now, so the price is not cheap, but they're very imperative to what we're doing out here. That guy couldn't get very far either. We're lucky in this area because if we miss a lionfish, there's rarely a big enough cave for them to fully get away, so we always have another chance. We try not to miss them, but you know, it happens. Now this big green sea turtle was pretty docile, but if you look closely, it's a gorgeous one by the way, but this is a female, and you can see the foot has been bitten off by something. Just a little chunk of it. Most likely a tiger shark. That's a normal fin. Tiger sharks are one of the only sharks that really aggressively try to eat turtles, and it's one of their favorite snacks. And that's why turtles have developed that shell, so they can avoid, boom, they can avoid getting eaten by these sharks by using that big round shell to put in front of their mouth, and they try to eat it, and they just keep shucking and jiving, and that shell keeps them from being able to be bitten. So it's a genius adaptation. And boom. Another fish that enjoys that same tactic is the angelfish. They have the big wide body, and that body allows them to block eels and other fish that might want to eat them from getting to them. Now this area is a heck of a cluster. This is exactly what each barrel sponge would look like if people weren't out doing this. Boom. And you see how they're not really freaked out. They don't really run away because evolution has taught them, hey, you have evolved to have these amazing spines. They all have venom inside of them. They cause excruciating pain, and no one's going to mess with you. You're protected. Just stick those things out, and boom. Actually, missed that one. Sometimes they are able to kind of catch on, but they still are very steadfast in belief that those little things will protect them. Jam them in there and carry on to the next one. We got a gob of lionfish in this one. This is a blue angelfish. You can tell by the gorgeous tail there, and the queen angelfish looks kind of similar, but it has a big blue spot on its forehead, whereas the blue angelfish does not have that spot. Sometimes there can be hybrids where there's a mixture of both blue and queen in one, and that's a hybrid angelfish. This is the biggest cushion sea star I've ever seen. Would you look at the size of that thing compared to my hand? I've been diving here since 2016. I've never seen one that big. It's absolutely groovy. Look at the size. This looks like a big old pillow you'd put on your, on your couch. Maybe that's why it's called a cushion. I found this string with a whole bunch of seaweed on it. So sometimes I'll cut this fishing line. Otherwise, it's just going to eventually destroy the reef around it if you let that kind of get caught up in a lot of current. So snip it and move on. Sometimes I take the string with me, sometimes I don't. It just kind of depends on the situation. This is a big old ocean filefish, and that one was looking to get cleaned by some cleaner fish. Boom. It wasn't doing too well. It looked kind of shabby, so it was definitely in need of some cleaning. That's a big one. Oh my goodness, look at the size comparison to my head. That's the big one of the day right there, boys and girls. That's close to 15 inches right there. Now, it's very rare. We used to find 16-inch lionfish on the regular, sometimes 17. I even caught an 18-inch lionfish one time. But, we have to look around, and finally, boom, we find them. We cover a lot of ground in these videos, and I don't always show you every little minute of the diving. Otherwise, you would, first of all, be nauseous because I'm moving this camera around a whole lot, and it would not be very fun to watch. Another miss, darn it. So I edit and edit and edit. Usually there's about 30 or 40 minutes of a video just to get to this 9.5 minute mark. And not all my videos are really long like this, but a lot of people like to just chill out, and watch these longer videos and kind of go to sleep while watching them, or they're just like a relaxing thing, cruising through the ocean, enjoying all these fish and getting to see, some good happening in the world. Right now, there's a lot of things happening where they're cutting a lot of environmental protection. So things like this are very needed at this current moment. We all need to do our part. And if we all step in and do little things, you don't have to go get a bunch of dive gear and learn how to dive. And look at that little sock puppet. And go down to the bottom of the ocean and find lionfish. Nice green, beautiful loggerhead turtle. You can just pick up a piece of trash instead of throwing one on the ground. If everybody had, if we had a day where everybody just picked up a couple pieces of trash and it was like a national holiday, we could make a huge dent. And then some people would take it even further and they would pick up a garbage can full. See how that guy got away? I think I ended up getting him, but it was a little, tricky to record it because I was more concerned about grabbing him than recording it. Just missed that guy too. Missing and missing and missing, but the second shot's usually the one. Sometimes third or fourth. Now, this is a gray triggerfish, and sometimes they have been known to bite people. Sometimes you won't even know it. You're just cruising along, and a gray will just come by and nip your finger, and man, does it hurt. Boom. One time I got nipped right on the knuckle, and it was terrifying. I didn't know what was biting me. I'm in the middle of the ocean, and you have to look down and see that it's only a gray. That makes you happy, but man, it definitely hurt. See all that seaweed piled up in that crevice? That can become a problem because those are homes for fish. And when they get completely jammed up with seaweed like that, they are uninhabitable. So climate change has definitely made a lot of this seaweed kind of grow differently, grow in large amounts. And then it becomes more of a problem because it piles up on our beaches. Right now we have a huge problem with sargassum. It's a type of seaweed that is mainly in the Sargasso Sea, and it covers the beaches so much so that you can't even get to the water in a lot of places. Look at this nice big one. He's stalking some little fish under there. Boom! Now, I get him, but then he kicked away, and I had to drop the spear, otherwise it was going to bend. So I had to go retrieve him. Look at the size of that mother. Holy barnacle paste. This fish is already probably around 8 or 9 years old, and they can live up to 15 or so years, even more than 15 years. And in that time, they will eat at least 15,000 fish. So that's only with 10 fish a day. So imagine if my calculations are incorrect and they actually eat 20 fish a day, that would be more like 30,000 lionfish. But as of right now, 100 lionfish, which is a common number of lionfish that we get in a dive, those 100 lionfish in their lifetime will consume over 5 million fish, which is staggering and ridiculous. But that's why we're out here, to put these buggers in somebody's belly instead of in the ocean. Woo!